This is EURUSD. This is a completely blank chart, and I'm just recording my mapping process. How do I go about building my narratives and my various points of interest from where I'd like to trade. So if you look at this, firstly, I start off, my higher time frame is the daily, and I start off with the daily, and I just, so this is very, very intuitive and also has some discretion, but I don't think any trading plan can be 100% rule based. There has to be, a little bit of intuition, and so I'm just stating what my plan looks like. So, if I look at the daily, I see that, okay, we've been making a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, a higher high, and then a lower low. So, so this looks like a leg to me, the current, swing range, so to say. So I start off by putting my pretty little circles. So this is my swing high, and I have this daily, and this is my swing low. And why do I say this is a swing low? Because, well, it led to a break of structure. So this was my, higher high, higher low, then we made a higher high, but then we broke this structure over here. So therefore this is a swing leg, and currently prices between this high and this low. So I also like to put a line which marks my break of structure. So from here we've had a break of structure on this candle. So this is my daily break of structure, and after the break of structure we can expect a pullback to happen, and that generally happens, so my premium and discount. So going from here to about here, this is my 50% level Fibonacci. Let me just, this is my 50% level. That's what I was wondering. So this is premium. So if price pulls up into the premium, that's when I want to take shorts, and if I'm pro trend, or if it's in discount, that's when I'm going to look for longs. So now if I just look at the daily, and I say, so what is the trend? So because we've had a bearish break of structure, so I'm thinking that now the price is, the swing is bearish. We've had a break of structure, and after the break of structure, actually for the break of structure, the price must close below this low. So this candle hasn't really closed below. It's actually somewhere here that we can say that, okay, we've had a candle body close. So I'm just going to extend it till here. So this is where I have had a break of structure, and now I can say that, okay, price is going to pull up to the premium levels, and I would expect the the downward trend to continue. And for the downward trend to continue, I would like to see a minimum change of character or break of, internal break of structure to say that yes, price is now going down. So as far as, so this is how I start off by marking my daily chart, and I now want to look at marking out all the POIs. So now when it comes to selecting all these zones, whether it's a supply zone or a demand zone, there are certain rules that I follow. So for example, what do I consider as a zone? Is it a single candle, or do I look at a range, or what is it? So I generally stick to a single candle, but sometimes I do look at the sell to buy wicks or the buy to sell wicks, and that's what defines a range for me. And of course, if it's a candle which is a thrust candle, then I'm definitely looking at maybe two candles that are being covered. So for example, over here, if I just look at this leg, what are the ranges and what are the unmitigated ranges? So if I start off from here, if I was to just kind of draw something like this, so this is definitely mitigated because price is already wicked this, so I'm not interested in this. Look at this has already been mitigated by a lot of it. Now this is one unmitigated candle that I see here, and so this is definitely a POI, or let me just use the daily here. So this is a daily demand zone. Now the question is this like a strong zone? What has it really achieved? Has it led to a breakout structure? So yes, it has led to. I do have this change of character indicator, which just helps me map some structure. So it has led to break of the structure that is broken is this a change of character here. It's also, you could say that this is an internal high, and it kind of led to a break of this too. And if you really did it flip something? So technically speaking, well, if this is an internal high, we could say that this candle is a supply, and when price came into this, it reacted, and then price actually eventually took this out. So it's, yes, it is also a flip zone. Did it sweep liquidity? That's the next question that I'm interested in. And if you really look at it, yes, it swept all these lows. So yeah, so this is I think a pretty decent zone, because it ticks a lot of boxes for me. It's led to a chalk. It's also broken some this is an internal breakout structure. It flipped and it also has swept liquidity over here. Now the other things, does it have inducement? No. Because for inducement, I would have probably, expected price to kind of come down a little, maybe something like this, and then kind of gone up. So there is no inducement really for this zone. So that's something. Is it stacked? Well, we're not going above the daily. So when we come down to the 4 hour, then we can see if there's a nested, zone inside that or not. But yeah, this is what it is at the moment. And if we look at supply zones, if we start from here, this is of course the extreme that we're looking at, the unmitigated extreme, and then price came here. It kind of reacted to something from here. I don't know what, but there is something. There's this wick which has kind of swept all the liquidity residing below this. So we could look at marking this too. This appears to be a decent supply zone. And again, let's just go through what do we really look at. Has it led to a break of structure? Yes, this is the change of character chalk, so it led to the daily chalk over here. And yeah, did it flip something? Well, so you could say that, okay, if you consider this entire range over here, as some kind of a demand zone, I'm just considering this entire thing. So price comes into it, and there is a reaction, and then it kind of sweeps it. So this is a flip zone for sure. Did it sweep liquidity? Well, you can see, yes, these are kind of relative equal lows, equal highs that have been swept. So yes, so it's led to a sweep of all these relative equal highs, and then we've continued further down. Is it obviously we can't really look at whether it's stacked inside zone or not, because this is the highest time frame we're looking at. But will I be interested in looking for shorts from here? Yes, because also this zone is in the premium, so yeah, makes it a very high probability zone. It's completely unmitigated, I would think. It's also part of a chain, you could say. The order flow is kind of it's part of this whole order flow. Then we come to it also has a lot of inducement in front of it. If you see all these highs that you see over here, there is also this zone that we can see, a supply zone where price is already kind of tapped into. It's kind of reactive, but we're still moving with a lot of momentum. So I don't think this zone is going to hold, and things are going to get interesting when we come here. And I expect, the reversal to begin from here. So this is, as far as the daily zone is concerned, and all the drawings that I have, I just kind of take them all and I group them into one kind of object, and I call it the daily. You can't see that being recorded because of the limitation of the screen. Let me see if I can extend this perhaps. How do I do that? Maybe this. No. Just 1 second, please. I'm sorry, I can't seem to figure this out. But just one. Okay, forget it. Anyway, so this is my daily, which I can now hide. And what I then do is I go onto the 4-hour chart, and I don't want to have the daily on at this point, but if I go down now to the 4-hour chart, and again, I just have a very, very quick intuitive kind of a thing, and I see, okay, these are all higher highs, higher lows, higher high, higher low, higher high. It didn't really close, but there's a higher high, higher low. So this to me looks like the latest kind of a structure that I'm interested in. So I'm going to take my pretty little dots and mark it here like this, and mark this one here like this. Where did the breakout structure take place? So this is my 4-hour daily breakout structure. And yes, that's about it. So what am I expecting? I'm expecting after the 4-hour breakout structure, I'm expecting a pullback to happen, and yeah, that's what we'll wait for and see how things pan out. So my current swing range is between here and wherever, and I would like to map out some zones over here. So if I just look at unmitigated stuff, so probably, this is what I can look at, or maybe I'll just take this entire zone. I can mark this as my H4. Okay. And nothing else. There's no inducement in front of it. It's led to a breakout structure, which is pretty significant, but it has no inducement. It's not really swept any liquidity. So I don't know, maybe all of this looks like great liquidity to me. And we have other stuff here, which is, so there is a bit of a range here. So there is, I could probably look at this unmitigated stuff here, which is again, and it has a lot of inducement here. But remember, currently the H4 is extremely bullish. I'm not going below this. When we come here, we'll look at this. I would like to look left and see if there's anything that's significant. All this is already kind of gone. We do have price came up, it's come down here, gone up, it's reacted. So maybe I'll consider this entire range over here as an H4. And then let's see where we are. Yeah, so this is my current mapping, and we've had a change of character here, but again we've gone up. So I know, either we're still continuing on in this phase, or there's going to be a pullback. For a pullback to commence, I need to see at least some kind of a bearish movement. So a bare minimum would be a chalk. But if this structure goes, then I'm that much more confident that we're now looking at playing the pullback. So as far as the POI selection is concerned, I'll have more faith in this one than this, because this looks like great inducement, a lot of liquidity residing below this, and I think price is going to come into there, into that, sweep all this and then continue further. So the 4-hour is definitely bullish. Now if I switch on, okay, let me just save all of this into my H4 object, and let me just hide that. If I have my daily on now, so we can see, okay, this is where we are. I switch on my H4, and yeah, so now so you see how things are now kind of falling in place and in perspective. We do have this zone here, and I think from here we can expect a little bit of a pullback. We are already in the daily, and we need to see how much of a pullback are we expecting. We can also look at this candle as another H4, because H4 zone. Why? Because it's kind of it's led to a break of these highs that were there. Price was kind of stuck in a range for a bit, and now it's kind of going up. If I now go on to the 1 hour, things might get a little clearer. Yeah, this is where we are, so it was kind of ranging, and now we've had a clear-cut break from this, and we've gone up. Yeah. So this is where we are as far as the H4 is concerned. I'm just going to tidy these up a little. Just move these dots a little, so that it's looking a little more neat. Just going to move this. Okay. So that's where we are. So just to recap very quickly, going back to the daily. So the daily is definitely, we're bearish. We've kind of broken structure here, and we are in the pullback phase. So always remember that after a break of structure, we can expect a pullback. And once price pulls into the premium levels, we can continue with the short. Or if we are bullish, then once it pulls into discount levels, then we can look at long. So we just about made it to premium levels, and it will make sense to look for shorts, but bear in mind that which is the zone from where I can expect the price to really reverse. And to me, this is that daily zone where I really think price will kind of pull up to, and then so till then, internal, as far as the daily is concerned, we're making higher high, higher lows, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and then probably continue till we reach this POI. So that's as far as the daily is concerned. The H4, we can see this is where we are. It's bullish, and we've pulled up. I'm expecting a bit of a reaction from this, at least maybe into this zone, and then kind of continue further up. This green line is the daily pullback, so I'm aware of that. I'm also aware that we are in a daily zone, but I'm thinking that all this is like really nice, great, juicy inducement for this zone on top. Is there any nested 4-hour structure that we can look at? Probably the pivot over here, the extreme candle here. This appears to be, and it also has inducement in front of it. So yeah, I'm pretty happy looking at this this POI. Let me just extend it. All right. So this is the H4, and then the lowest time frame that I go down to is the M15. So I'm just gonna hide all this and go to the M15 and just see where we are. So on the M15, without really looking anywhere further, I mean, just look at the most recent price action. So this definitely looks bullish to me, and I'm just very quickly going to add my pretty little circle here, call it the M15, and have another circle here. And where is my breakout structure? That's happened here. Candle body close above this. So this is my M15 breakout structure. Great. So let's look at zones. So obviously there's the extreme, this candle here, which I shall mark as the M15 extreme that I have. All right. And what else do we have? Price comes into maybe this. It reacts. Sweeps this, comes down, reacts. There's nothing really, unmitigated here till we maybe come here, which is also mitigated, but maybe this inside bar is what I'll look at. So I will also, draw this like this. We also see where the price kind of react from. So if you look at this, I think we have a flip happening here. This is a flip zone, which is really cool because price came in here, it reacted, and then from here we've kind of taken it out. It again kind of came here, and we have this candle here, which is also unmitigated, and we can mark this. So we can or maybe mark it on top of this, because then it also gives us inducement, and this is also a flip. Did it sweep liquidity? Well, no, not really. Did this one sweep liquidity? Yes, it did. Does it have inducement? Questionable, but you could consider this as a bit of inducement for this zone. I could mark this as there could be liquidity residing under this, so it's great inducement. Yeah, so this is where we are. The M15 is bullish. We've broken structure. We've come up, and I'm expecting a pullback to happen. I would expect a minimum for this kind of internal breakout structure to happen. Chalk to happen, and then if price kind of breaks this, then I know for sure that price is going to pull back further. So what I'll do, is I shall have my first alert under this. I will just add an alert here, and I say, okay, so I want to be alerted as soon as price kind of crosses this. So that's my first cue to say that, okay, the pullback phase on the M15 has started. And then once price pulls into this, or when it kind of pulls into this, that's when I want my second alert to go on, that, okay, maybe price is now ready to kind of move up. So I'm going to be having a bullish bias when we come into London next week. And again, I'll first just group all of these into another object called the M15. Yeah, and now let's have the H4 on. So you can see that this is the zone that we were looking at, where I'm expecting price to come into, while it's just tapped into this supply, and I'm expecting probably a pullback to happen. And this is the daily, so all this action is happening inside the daily. So yeah, I think we're going to be bullish for some time now, probably till we pull into this. And do we have, like, I just want to see if we have any M15 zones here which are unmitigated. Nothing here really. Maybe over here. So once kind of price, once price comes in here, we'll have a look at that. So that's it. That's how I kind of look at my mapping. And just to very quickly recap, I start off with the daily time frame, and draw out the structure and see what's really going on here. So I just I'm just focusing on this leg, as I mentioned. I can't switch off the alerts. Okay, no problem. So this is what it is. I have a lot of faith in this POI because it's flipped. There's also inducement. It swept liquidity. It has really juicy inducement. So I'm expecting price to come here and then kind of go down. On the H4, again, this is where we are. It's totally bullish. I'm expecting a pullback to happen, and probably pull in here, and then we can look to go further up. On the M15, similar, exercise where we are extremely bullish. I will look at price to come down to one of these POIs and then kind of play the longs from there. So that's it. I know this has been a bit long, but this is my this is how I go about mapping. And once price kind of pulls into some POI which is of interest to me, that's when I get interested and start looking at my entry models, which I'll cover later.